pleasure to be with you on this important occasion to share some of my thoughts and experiences. Rather, I would prefer to hear from you your records, your write-ups about Indian ethos, because it is going to be a matrix of views. 60 people have given your views, thoughts, etc. I would suggest to Dr. Sundar to prepare a compendium, putting together all these write-ups. In that I will make my contribution also, if it is possible. That will be a record for ASBM. With this view, let me share my thoughts. And it is good that you are thinking about Indian ethos in management. Management is a modern concept. Indian society and culture is very ancient. You try to connect these two things. They are not poles apart. They have connections because whole human society is a continuum. It is not so. When we think about Indian ethos, first that comes to our mind is ethics. Management principles and strategies are universal. Universalism is the basic tenet of management. And we have to see that universalism, where it varies, where it deviates, where some modification is required. And that is we have to see management principles through the prism of context and social, political, cultural environment. That is the exercise. So when we think about management, maybe in different societies, there may vary little. For example, Japanese management, we say, they have a different approach to management. Loyalty, they think it is something very valuable. An individual who is loyal to the organization, served in the particular corporate for the whole of his career, is considered to be a great person. But in Western context, there is no place for loyalty, where performance and achievement alone is taken into account, not loyalty. So these are some of the views. Therefore, Asian management, Japanese management, etc., that is all related to the cultural context. And therefore, we have to think the Indian context and Indian values. How does it affect the management? How can we relate that to management? And how our own cultural values will add strength to our management principles, management practices, etc. Therefore, ethics first. That's very important. Ours, we have a lot of ethical literature, particularly in Tamil. Maximum literature is on ethics for the last 1,500 years, starting from Tirukkural. Therefore, when we take into account Tirukkural, it has a very beautiful life lesson. Tiruvallur has organized his ideas into 3 sets. One is ethics, another is wealth, third one is pleasure. EWP, this is the combination, blended lifestyle. Holistic life should have ethics, should have wealth, should have pleasure. All these things should be balanced. That is his approach to the life. Sangam literature says that wealth and pleasure should come only through ethics. Orulum inbamum aravadipodum. Those who know Tamil will understand. Others, I will give the idea in English. So, both wealth and pleasure should come only through ethics. In Western literature, you don't see that. concept of wealth should come through ethics. Another important point is means justify the ends. Mahatma Gandhi likes this quote very much. It does not, we don't say ends justify means. In Western concept, success is very important. Nothing succeeds like success, that is the saying. But here, it is not like that. Means justify the ends. If your means are good, don't bother about the end. You may succeed or you may fail, but your means should be very important. The way you are approaching, the way you are conducting, to what extent you are ethical. Therefore, Mahatma Gandhi says, even noble means, noble cause should not be pursued through ignoble means. Understand? Even noble cause should not be pursued through ignoble means. That is the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi. And that philosophy is drawn from our own ancient literature. The Pandavas, the 5 brothers, followed ethical methods, but they failed. Kauravas followed unethical method, they succeeded. But yet, Pandavas are considered to be great rather than Kauravas. And therefore, this ethical conduct is very important. Ethical governance, individual, how he behaves is ethical, but how he governs ethically, that is very important. Ethical governance is more important than efficient governance. We don't attach much importance for efficiency, but for ethics. And our own legends, Sri Rama is an iconic ruler. We don't know whether he is efficient or not, but he is worshipped because he is a role model for every individual in the society. Emperor Ashoka, we don't know what his achievement is. He is a great ruler, he is a conqueror, and he learned through his war, etc., Kalinya, that we are getting success by giving sacrifice by the sacrifice of thousands of men, killing people. So he got disgusted and he followed Buddhism. And he first of all defined ethical rule. In the whole world, the Emperor Ashoka defined what is ethical rule, and ethical governance is his base. Another example, Pandian Nedingadiyan, that is from Chalapadhiyaram Tamil literature. He lost his life the moment he realized that he killed a person wrongly. The moment he got that information that he did some injustice, he lost his life. And this is the ethical governance. Now, another thing about Indian ethos is personality of an individual. Personality is not properly defined anywhere. It is a descriptive method of expressing the personality. And there is a very big difference between Western perception of personality and Indian perception of personality. In Greek and Latin literature, Socrates, Plato, etc., they considered personality from the point of view of individual strength, individual achievement, willpower, courage, ability to influence and impress others, ability to dominate others. These are all individual, say, strength of an individual which we consider as personality or ego. But in the Indian ethos, there is a deviation. We consider interpersonal relation as important for assessing or evaluating the personality of the individual, relating oneself to others, to the needy, to the poor, soft words, humility, empathy, helping tendency. These are all very important to judge the personality of an individual. It's very important. See, conceptually, basically, we deviate from the Western thought that one may be great, but how great he may be, how helpful he is to others, how he is useful to others. This is very important. The personality has to be viewed from that angle also. That is another important. Yet another thing is accumulation of wealth. This very modern world, this capitalistic environment, economic environment, who is the great person who earns huge wealth? And they are all, say, glorifying people who have thousand crores of wealth and entrepreneurship, achievements. These are all glorified. But another important thing is, what is the use of that wealth? How that wealth is converted into social capital? How that wealth is useful to the humanity? That is very important. Even big corporates, they are now converting that into CSR activity, etc. That happens. But in the Indian ethos, that is very much important, that is given very much importance. Benevolence is the benefit of wealth. Charity is the ultimate purpose of wealth. This is very much emphasized. Selvattu payane idal. That is the saying, not the modern saying, that is Sangam literature says. Selvattu payane idal. The benevolence is the benefit of wealth. That is very important, and that is very much, say, appreciated, glorified in Indian literature. Another thing is leadership. Many of you have done this leadership thought, and you must have done better thing. I have done some shallow fishing. I have not gone deep. Deep sea fishing may bring lot of things. Leadership lies in cultivating the self, equipping oneself, empowering oneself. These are all internal qualities. But leadership is successful only when you have the positive qualities. You shed the negative qualities. And that is very categorically defined in the Indian literature. What is positive thoughts, positive mindset, what are negative mindsets? In Tirigedugam, it has been given very categorically 3 positive sides, 3 negative sides of leadership. Positive sides. Can anybody tell what is the positive side of leadership? Give some ideas. Maybe from a business point of view, you may have different ideas. But from a ethical point of view, they have defined it very clearly. Modesty. Tamil adakam sollu. Malayalam sollu. Modesty. Anybody? Malayalis? What is modesty in Malayalam? Doesn't it? You have to think like that. See, you have to enrich your own language. All modern thoughts must be expressed. Anybody? Modesty? Pardon? Adakam. Adakam. Malayalam also. Very good. I'm happy. So, next is tolerance. Porayudamai Tamil is. Endurance. Another word in English. Tolerance is endurance. You have to endure. You have to be patient. And you have to accept what is before you and try to accommodate. Then ethics. These are 3 important positive qualities. Modesty, tolerance, ethics. What are negative qualities? Anybody? Any one negative quality? Yes? You have to think, because we have a lot of exposures to these things. Negative. 3 negative things he is telling in 3. It's very important for me. Anybody, any human being should not have this, should have that. What you should not have? Fear. Next, anger. Another thing is greed. Fear, anger, greed. These are three negative qualities. These are very important life lessons for you, not only for management discipline. It is life lesson that you should not have fear, should not have anger, should not have greed. Okay, greed is, see, aspiring for great things. Greed is different from your aspiration, isn't it? You should not contain your aspiration, but at the same time you should not be greedy. Okay? Then, universal outlook for any individual, any civilized person in a civilized society. We have to view things from universal angle, from common angle rather than from our own personal selfish angle. Narrow outlook. We should have a broad outlook, broad perspective, because we are living in a society where the world is becoming shrinking. World is like a big village. We are all connected by so many technologies. So the world is shrinking in our perception. Therefore, we should think in the world view, global view. So now everywhere you see globalization. Even your schools are global schools. For small children, they have only global schools. And you are having a global outlook as management students. You have a lot of exposure to corporates which are multinationals spreading in many countries. Therefore, you should have a broad universal view. And that universal view is not new. It is in our culture. In Sanskrit, it is called Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The whole world is considered as one family. That is the terminology that they have used in the Vedic literature. And in Tamil, there is a very beautiful poem that is inscribed in VNO organization, given by a Sangam poet, Kaniyan Poongundram. He says, all habitats on earth are my own. All habitats on earth are my own. All are my kith and kin. Yadum Mure, Yavarum Kedi. All of you are very aware of it. See, it is started in a long back, 2000 years ago. What kind of perception they have, world view? They think humanity as a whole, not a particular village, not a particular country, but humanity as a whole. That kind of universal outlook is there in Indian ethos. That is the emphasis that you have to make. Another important point is your duty, your work ethics. What is our work ethics? We have to devote to our achieve things by our earnest labor, effort, for which we need attachment and commitment. But this attachment and commitment should be for the work alone, not for the rewards. See how they differentiate it. That is Bhagavad Gita's explanation, Karma Yoga, where you should have a dispassionate approach to work. If you involve your aspiration, your expectation, etc. in the work may not be that efficient. To be efficient, you have to concentrate only on work, performance, achievement, result, and not bother about the rewards. And that is the important thing Bhagavad Gita says. He who relinquishes the fruits of action is the real relinquisher. He who relinquishes means gives up. He who relinquishes the fruits of labor is the real relinquisher. யார் உழைப்பினுடைய பயனை பற்றி கருதாதிருக்கிறார்களோ அவர்கள்தான் எதையும் கருதாதவர்கள் அப்படிங்கிறது தமிழ் சொல்றோம். He who relinquishes the fruits of labor, fruits of work, is the real relinquisher. And that is Indian ethos. So in the Western literature, you don't find these ideas. They don't differentiate between the work and the fruits of work. But here there is a clear differentiation. Don't bother about reward. Reward will come automatically. What you have to do is the work, concentrate, karma yoga, that is how it is explained. Then, emotional balancing. That is very, very important. Nowadays, it is really painful to see that every fifth person or fourth person has depression, has some emotional disorder, has some complaint about his work pressure, not happy. All these are appearing in the present day generation. Particularly young people like you should cultivate a practice, a habit that it does not affect your emotional balance, emotional side. So don't take everything to emotions. Analyze rationally, and at the same time you don't get disturbed. Emotional disturbance should not be there. There should be emotional control. And Bhagavad Gita says, very beautifully says, emotions shadow the wisdom. Emotions shadow the wisdom. You may, your own experience, you may know. When you are disturbed, you cannot think clearly. You cannot take good decisions. You cannot visualize anything clearly when you are emotionally disturbed. And to the extent possible, whatever may be the situation, you should not get disturbed emotionally. So emotions shadow the wisdom. As smoke envelops fire. Smoke envelops fire. Dust covers the mirror. When dust covers the mirror, you don't see the figure. When smoke covers the fire, you don't see the fire. And that is how, when emotions are in charge of a decision, you don't take proper decision. There is a beautiful Tirukkural, very beautiful, you have to record it. I am giving the English translation. One who does not seek pleasure in pleasure, does not suffer pain in pain. Very beautiful. One who does not seek pleasure in pleasure, does not suffer pain in pain. Yadanin Ningiyan, Nodal Adanin Ila. Wherever you keep yourself away, in whatever thing you keep yourself away, you are not affected by that event or by that action. Yadanin Ningiyan, Nodal Adanin Ila. One who does not seek pleasure in pleasure, does not suffer pain in pain. You are able to understand? Therefore, we should not unnecessarily get involved in everything in which we are not concerned. Poke our nose everywhere, get our mind disturbed, affecting the balance, mental balance. You have to approach very categorically, scientifically, in a calculated manner, and emotionally you should not get disturbed by any action, because you cannot practically separate emotions from actions. Every action has emotional, say, consequence, but you have to minimize that. Say some death happens, somebody is weeping. Somebody. Yes? Tell body. Whatever you think you can tell. What is objectivity? Anybody?
Goals.
Pardon?
Goals.
Yes, please.
Goals, sir.
Goals. Goals are objectives. Okay. I am telling about objectivity. Some adjective type of thing. Object is goal. That's, you are correct. But I am telling about objectivity. Please take it.
Achievements, sir. Achievements.
What he tells is
Goals.
objective. Goals achieving. But I am telling about objectivity. I think you will have to understand this. So objectivity is value. Suppose your gentleman, your name?
Akash Nixon, sir.
Akash?
Nixon.
Akash?